Why a Trae Young trade to the LA Lakers is extremely unlikely to happen. The Clippers are in search of a new general manager, and USC scrambles to keep its athletic department afloat. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is May 25th, 2023. I am in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I really wanted to find the perfect place to make this tape. Unfortunately, all the dumpsters were filled because I couldn't set it on fire, and that's what this town is exactly like. Jay, if you're sitting there like, James, I really need to get out of California. It's a little too pricey. Don't do Oklahoma. You are so much better off getting the biggest welfare package you can get than moving to this place. Now that my rant is done, let's talk LA sports. If you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Let's get to the scoreboard before the news and notes. Yesterday, Mookie Betts homered, but Atlanta found a way to edge the Dodgers 4-3. Phil Bickford allowed a walk-off sac fly in the bottom of the ninth. Meanwhile, tonight, Las Vegas is at the Sparks at 7 o'clock. You know, in her WNBA debut last week, rookie Zaya Cook scored 14 points for the Sparks. Not a bad idea. Not a bad debut. So, whenever a star player becomes available, inevitably that player is linked to the Lakers. And it's kind of understandable why. It's LA. It's the legendary franchise. It's one of the marquee franchises in the NBA. But with specifically to LeBron James, whenever that star player happens to be a guard, they get linked because LeBron always wants the outside shooting. So we've spent a lot of time over the last few months telling you why, despite all of the breathless hype regarding Kyrie Irving, about him going to the Lakers, how that wasn't going to happen. Even now, Kyrie Irving was showing up to Lakers playoff games. In my arrogant little opinion, that was a way to see if he could screw the Mavericks out of a little more money in the contract negotiations. But I did mention to you, Trae Young, there are internal discussions in the Lakers as to how they might be able to pry him out of Atlanta. And I'm here to tell you, it's almost as unlikely to happen. And I'm going to go through why. The first is that there's no way Atlanta is just going to give him up for nothing. And the Lakers simply do not have a lot of tradable assets. For example, you look at the Brooklyn Nets. This time last year, the Brooklyn Nets had both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And they knew they had to get rid of them toward the trade deadline. And they managed to fleece out a ton of first-round draft picks for those two players. A ton of them. The Lakers don't have a lot of draft capital to give up. They have one first-round pick that they could have traded. They had two in the last trading deadline. They only have one now. Atlanta's not going to trade Trae Young for one draft pick and a couple of players. It's not happening. So then you're sitting there going, well, okay, what star power can the Lakers trade? Well, they're not trading LeBron. The only other conceivable player who's a star is Anthony Davis. And I'm sorry, Anthony Davis right now is a better player than Trae Young. Trae Young is a terrific shooter. He can do a lot of things and get you a lot of points. Anthony Davis gets you a lot of points. Plus, he gets you a lot of blocks, a lot of rebounds, and he can also control the basketball. He is great at dribbling. Anthony Davis does so many more things that Trae Young simply can't do. The Lakers would lose that trade. Even though and by the way, Anthony Davis is going to be a free agent in 2024. So why would Atlanta do that? Even though they're getting a theoretically better player, why would they do that knowing that they're going to have to try to figure out how to keep him in 2024? The only other player currently on the Lakers roster who could be conceivable in a trade would be Austin Reeves. But that would have to combine with draft capital, or the Lakers would have to get a third, a fourth team involved. And what teams do you think are willing to help out the Lakers in that regard? Exactly. So no, it's highly unlikely. Also with the Lakers, former Laker Dwight Howard is recruiting LeBron James to come over to Asia, over in Thailand, and play ball with him. Look, on behalf of middle-aged men everywhere, it is an extremely bad idea to go to Southeast Asia. It's great to go to Japan. Okay, if you're a businessman going to China. But what are we talking about here? Oh, yeah, come to the Philippines. The Philippines, for real? Vietnam, Thailand. If you're sitting there saying, James, are you saying what I think you're saying? The answer is hell yeah, I'm saying what I think I'm saying. LeBron James has maybe he has $1 billion for all we know, right? He has a ton of money. I am suggesting to you that he not use that money and invested in human trafficking. Let's not go there. We all want to have LeBron James have a legacy that is proud of. Having to build another Epstein Island should not be on that list, dude. No, absolutely not. I don't want internet memes about how LeBron built an island and all of a sudden he didn't kill himself. We don't need that. We had enough of that with Jeffrey Epstein. We don't even know how Jeffrey Epstein got all that money in the first place. I don't want LeBron to become an internet meme. Stop it. Stop it, Dwight. You do what you do over in Thailand. I don't want to know. Michael Winger has left the Clippers to basically get a better job. He was a GM with the Clippers, but he is now going to be the president of the Washington Wizards, the WNBA's Mystics, and the G League's Go-Go. This is a hit to the Clippers. There's no doubt in my mind. Because what Winger was able to accomplish as their GM was they seamlessly transferred from the Lob City era to Kawhi and Paul George. Still haven't gotten the title yet, but it was a seamless transition. The Clippers didn't have to rebuild. Who does have to rebuild is the Washington Wizards. They've missed the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 years. Now, the weird thing about Winger, the Los Angeles Times said that he is considered a salary cap expert, which is kind of odd, considering the Clippers are hundreds of millions over the cap, right? The Times does think that the Clippers might promote from within, either with assistant GM Mark Hughes or assistant GM Trent Redden. We'll have to find out. The USC athletic department is not completely rudderless without Mike Bohn. The school is forming an interim team of 4 people to run the department. 1 person inside the school, 3 outside. And by the way, this whole thing sounds extremely stupid. I can't lie to you about that. If you think that I'm like, oh, this is going to smooth out the turbulence moving to the Big Ten, no, that's not happening. I mean, I don't even think 4 people can successfully keep a rock band together, let alone run one of the most successful athletic departments in college sports, right? Now, SI keeps adding to their list of candidates to replace Bohn, but it sounds like they're just pulling random names from the unemployment line. I think the most important thing is to hire somebody who's not a perv. Can we do that? Can you do that? It'd be great if you have somebody who could smooth everything out going to the Big Ten, but please, let's not have anybody getting the creepy, sexual innuendo, rub the small of the back kind of stuff. Multiple reports have suggested that the Trojans should consider Ed Stewart in-house, Washington Athletic Director Jennifer Cohen, and Washington State's Pat Chun. Having said that, they're not citing any sources. So we don't even know if those are legit rumors or if it's just somebody pulling names out of their butt. We have to be patient. The Rams may have a steal in their midst in wide receiver Puka Nacua, a 5th-round pick out of BYU. He's getting rave reviews from Van Jefferson and quarterback Matthew Stafford. But we have yet to see it because, after all, this is organized team activities, training activities. It's not actual spring camp. It's not actual training camp, nor is it the exhibition season. Kyle Van Noy is still without a job, which kind of sucks for him because, he had a breakout year with the Chargers. And if he wasn't with the Chargers last year, the Bolts don't make the playoffs. Let's be real. He posted yesterday that the Chargers clearly don't want him back and it's time to move on. I feel bad because he was a good player for them, but I also feel bad because that tweet sounded like every dude at 1:15 in the morning who's at the bar and he's just scrolling through the nudes from his ex-girlfriend, right? Dude, You got to move on. Don't bring it up. I'm sorry, it sucks. Finally, we know that the Galaxy will play Real Salt Lake in the next round, the quarterfinal round of the U.S. Open Cup. When that game is, I have no idea yet. It hasn't been scheduled. But let me know what you think in the comments thread. Let me know what you think the Lakers might be able to do in order to land Trae Young, or if you should want him in a Lakers uniform. Where do the Clippers go from here? And if you enjoyed talking LA sports, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.